right, dude. It's decision time. Last game of the preseason is just going to be warm up for the starters. So, how you feeling?
I feel the same exact way as when the preseason started.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I have no idea.
Low quality fans, a high quality Bruins team that is a dub. That feels good. That feels good. Watching that game did not feel good, but a dub's a dub's a dub. That's what we say. That's what we do. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. This game, brothers and sisters, not ideal for the roster itself. Because, all right, we'll do the lines real quick, and then this will make more sense. Merkulov, Huzdinov, Liesel was your top line. Blumel, Patra, Steves, Tufty, Beecher, Kostelic, Harrison, Brown, Duran, Lorai, Jokiharju, Aspero, Harris, Callahan, Soderstrom, Korpisalo would play the whole game. DiPietro would back up. Washmells, took a second to get there. Sweezy, Farinacci, and Bancroft have all been sent to Providence. No surprises there, although I did want to see another Washmells game. But that's all right. We'll survive. This game, for the roster that played, for the large majority of them, was their last opportunity. I think a lot of these guys are going to get cut unless they just literally wait to the last minute to try. I don't know. But for the most part, I think after this one, many of these guys get sent down. I think many of them were on their last opportunity to make the team. Lorai, Jokiharju probably separate themselves right there, although I think Jokiharju is under a little bit of a microscope for his performance, but he was fine enough in this game. None of the defensemen looked good, which only benefits Jokiharju, really. The forwards, yeah, pretty much all of them other than Kostelic, yeah, are fighting for a job here. And Kostelic, you could probably say the same thing. I just think he's closer to a lock to be on the NHL squad. But if you were to tell me any of those other names were a lock, any of those other forwards were a lock, I'd be really surprised. Patra, obviously closer to making it than not making, than the others on the roster, I would say. Beecher also has that opportunity, same with Blumel. Everyone else is a little bit farther behind. Again, just an opportunity for them to show out and to really put their name in front of the coaching staff and go, I deserve another chance. I deserve another game here. We'll talk about how I feel at the end. It is a dub. It is a dub. It's important to remember this is a dub. It's also important to remember that if this team didn't look good in this game, it's not the end of the world. 95% of these guys are on the younger side and are part of the development chain for the Bruins. If I say anything about this squad and like disappointments here or there, it's just not the end of the world, I guess is what I'm trying to get across. Because I feel like sometimes in the preseason we talk about it, and we talk about it in a negative way or a disappointing way, and people get really, really into that when there's a whole other roster outside of this one that has basically already made the NHL roster for Game 1. This is just guys who are given their last chance. Most of them, at least. I think most of us agree with that. So let's talk about the game a little bit. It starts off brutally, but it gets better, so puck drops. Puck drops! In 2:38 in, Chychrun's going to go for interference for another power play. I thought something was really interesting here. Lorai got the top power play unit, which wasn't interesting. And then Harris got the second power play unit, which I think they know they're not using Jokiharju for the first or second unit at the NHL level. So maybe they were just trying to see if Harris could grab onto that and looked good there. But I did think it was interesting that he had it instead of Jokiharju. It might be nothing. It might be something. I was interested in that. No dice on it, though. Although the power play in this game didn't look terrible, and they didn't give up a bunch of fast breaks the other way, I say that's progress. That's what I say. 6 minutes in, Jokiharju makes a bad pinch in the offensive zone. We're going to say that a lot this year. It leads to a fast transition for the Caps. Lorai is then forced to switch to the right side, defending the play, but Blumel also attacks the same player on that side, which allows that player to do a quick dump pass to Milano, who's going to skate down the left side, or the left circle, just offside the wall, because obviously that's taken up by that conglomeration of men. Jokiharju does catch back up to the play. Great job by him. He's going to cover the pass. He's going to cover the pass so blatantly, though, that he completely takes himself out of the play, meaning Milano just gets to skate down to the bottom of that left circle and then cuts in. He tries this weird Michigan move to lift the puck, like Michigan if he didn't go around the net. Korpisalo's there, he takes it, we're fine, the save is made. The development of that play really kind of pissed me off. And Lorai and Jokiharju, if you look at the roster, you go, all right, you two are the best defensemen. Don't do silly things, and they both do silly things. Although Lorai was required to move over and cover that first one. He committed too severely, but he thought he had a chance to snuff out the play. Again, committed too severely, though, so still kind of a mistake there. 10:18 left. Callahan and Soderstrom, who really struggled in this game. Soderstrom especially. Soderstrom, I was actually, when we signed him, I was kind of like, this guy might have something. Holy crap, was I wrong about that. They're scrambling around this whole shift about midway through the first. Multiple puck battles lost. Poor decisions when they get the puck. It's bad. The play ends when Callahan chases Lapierre all the way. I can't speak tonight. I don't know what's going on. All the way up to the blue line on the right side. Just chases him all the way up. Lapierre dishes the puck off to Chychrun, who's going to hammer this on net. And Soderstrom is right there in front of the net with Leonard. But Leonard not only has the inside ice on him, to be directly in front of Korpisalo. Soderstrom's not even trying to get the inside ice. He's just watching the puck. Puck gets on Korpisalo, save made, rebounds there. Leonard is right there for it because there's no one actually closer to the net than him because he had inside ice, something that Soderstrom was literally not interested in getting. What are we doing? That's one of those things that just drives you insane. It's 1-0, by the way, after that. It drives you nuts because you sit there and go, that's like a core concept, dude. That's a core concept, is to not let the guy get inside and have the first opportunity on a rebound, which would be frustrating enough. You didn't even try. He's just puck watching it. It's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Directly after that goal, I missed the next 3 minutes of play because the broadcast died. And no, not unlike my shitty little internet or computer, it just actually crapped out. And then what was really funny is the Capitals commentators, because we were watching the Capitals stream, they were complimenting their tech crew after the intermission. I was like, is it time to compliment them? Maybe just don't point them out at all. Maybe just leave that alone, because you know what happened. 4:24 left. Aspero is going to go for tripping. We're going to the penalty kill. We kill it. And at the end of the period, the shots are 18-5 for the Capitals. It was really ugly to start. It was a really ugly game, particularly for the defensemen. We go to the second period, and 55 seconds in, Lorai stumbles, brain farts, goofs. I don't really know. He's skating in the neutral zone up to the blue line. The Capitals have the puck in their zone and see his forward momentum and just flick the puck past him because why not? And with their momentum going that direction, they fly right by Lorai, and he's completely out of the play immediately. Lapierre is going to collect the puck. Aspero also got caught too far ahead, but they get very lucky because Lapierre skates down the right side, doesn't use the 2-on-0 that they have. Aspero works his ass off to get back up there and finally cover the second guy. And by the time that happens, Lapierre runs out of real estate. He's at such a sharp angle that nothing comes from the 2-on-0. If I'm a Caps fan, I'm losing my mind. I'm pissed off about that. But as a Bruins fan, you go, okay, all right, Aspero, like that's good hustle. Lorai, please don't do that again. He might have literally just stumbled. Like I that's a real possibility. Maybe I should go back and double check that at the beginning of the play, but really not great. Also, I keep seeing people comment on my facial hair. It's connected on both sides, guys. It's just the lighting. That's all it is. It's just the shading and lighting. It is connected on both sides. Sometimes I know it doesn't look like that. I don't know why I'm pointing that out right now. 3 seconds after that play, Tufty's going to go for a high sticking. We're going to the penalty kill. We kill it. 3:42 in. Sort of, which I kind of enjoy that name. Kind of like sort of. Sort of for high sticking. We're going to the power play. It's a pretty good power play. Genuinely, it's a pretty good power play. We don't score on it, but I liked the puck movement. I'll take it. 6:36 left. The Capitals transitioning out of their zone. Liesel takes a swipe at the puck carrier. And then he gives up on the play. Completely. It's a 3-on-3 the other way. Aspero and Harris both allow the forwards in front of them to get behind them. and it turns into a 2-0, and Korpisalo has to make a huge save. I go back and watch. 6:36 left, and you'll sit there and go like, "Wait, how was it a 3-on-3 that turned into a 2-0?" Go watch. It's insane. They just both let him go, and that's it. Also, Liesel just gave up on that play. Stop back checking. The guy's not making the team, and he doesn't deserve to at this point, because I expected Liesel to attack this camp with focus and energy and effort. And there were moments where he flashes upside. I talked about it in previous videos. We talked about it on the Short Shift pod. This was like a do or die game for him, and he doesn't show up. I don't know. You can't convince somebody. You can drag a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. If the effort's not there, if the guy doesn't care enough, the guy doesn't care enough. And this crushes me. I've been a Liesel defender for a long time. He's 22 years old. He's still young. He has some of the best skating that I've seen in a Bruins prospect in a long time. I was excited about him. And I think I'm finally going to have to sit here and go, like, it's not going to work out. Not in Boston, at least. It's really tough pill to swallow. I'm trying to fight against it. I'm trying to hold out hope here. But I can't believe the amount of plays he gave up on tonight. It's your last chance to make the team, dude. And you're just giving up on stuff? I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe it's one of those things, God-gifted talent, and just spoils the mind, because the amount of people who would just kill to be in a situation like that with that kind of talent, I don't get it. I'm really frustrated, and it seems silly from just some bro dude in a room full of jerseys on YouTube talking about hockey, but it's genuinely frustrating. That's a lot of talent for not a lot of effort. Ugh, gross. 3:44 left. Lindgren is going to mishandle a dump in, and it gives Tufte enough time, to his credit, fight through a defenseman and poke it 5-hole. But just like the Beecher goal a couple of games ago, it's a gift. He just absolute gift of a goal. It's 1-1. We'll take it, but it's not like it changes my mind about Tufte's performance or the people who got the assist on it. This was just an absolute gift. Lindgren just bobbles this one in the Caps net. Very odd. And it kind of pissed me off, because the Bruins have created next to no offense outside of that one decent power play there. And now they're tied. And I'm kind of like, you guys don't deserve to be tied. You're leaving Korpisalo out to dry, and you're not able to create anything offensively. Yes, I want the team to win. It's a preseason game, though, so it doesn't really matter to me, the end result. It just kind of pisses me off, because it's like, guys, you can't rely on gifts all the time. You need to earn these goals. Either way, good job by Tufte. Genuinely good job by Tufte. I should compliment him, because he did fight through a defenseman to get there, and he didn't give up on the play. 48.1 seconds left of the second period. A 2-on-2 develops between Harrison and Durant. Harrison, this might be the best play I've ever seen him make, because he goes down the right side, gets below the right circle, power moves in towards the net, has a defenseman draped over his back. He's losing his balance. He's falling down, still manages to swipe the puck at the net. It was going wide. It bounces off a defenseman and then back 5-hole, and it is 2-1. A crazy turnaround in the last 4 minutes of this period. Did either goal be like true hockey, beautiful goals? No. Harrison's was an effort goal. I'm going to give him credit for that all day. So was Tufte's. But it wasn't a gift. He had to fight through the defenseman. And yeah, he got a bounce, but it was the right play to make. He had Durant on the other side, hoping that he could get a little help there if the puck doesn't go where he needs it to. Great play by Brett Harrison. How often have you heard me say that? Real effort from him. I love to see it. Third period starts. Win the period, win the game. Right? Show up defensively. Your goaltender has to make big plays. Like, if the Bruins are going to be successful this year, this is going to be a situation that we see very often. A tie or 1-goal game going into the third. And you're looking at your defense, you're looking at your goaltender to keep you in it or keep you in the lead. And then you got to finish it off. And that's what they did. 105 in, Aspero goes for roughing because he knocks Leonard on his ass when he takes a swipe at Korpisalo. Yes, you don't love the penalty, but you like the reason for the penalty. Don't touch my goaltender. Seems pretty legitimate to me. During the penalty kill, Steves pokes the puck away on the blue line of our zone, sprints after it. He was getting caught, so he has to launch it a little early from the left circle. Save made by Lindgren, but it's a great play by Steves. The boys are waking up a little bit. Through 2 periods, I basically sat there and went, no one has done anything to grab a job here. So it's nice that the third period had a little push, had a little momentum. We do kill the rest of the penalty. 4 minutes into the period, Patra has the puck down the right side on a 2-on-1. Chychrun just pokes the puck away. Now, Chychrun's a great defenseman, and he's been in the league a long time, and I'm not looking for Patra to beat him one-on-one, right? But the guys I want to make the team are the guys that need to make these big plays. And over and over and over in this game, just wasted opportunities. Patra, I mean, he just allows Chychrun to get too close, and rather than dish it off when he should have or taken a shot or anything, it just little poke off the stick, easy as can be. And it's just frustrating because I want the best for Patra. I'm a huge Patra guy. I'm a big supporter of him, and I would love to see him make this team. That's not the play that's going to get you there. Not the end of the world, but it's one of those moments where you just go, God, capitalize on that. Force their hand. Make them put you in the lineup. 5 minutes in, the Bees have a 3-on-2. The forwards skate in a perfectly straight line. I literally don't even remember who it was at this point. I got so frustrated. But all three forwards just doot, doot, doot. Perfectly straight line, easily covered by basically one defenseman. And I just went, this is the system we're running? What is this? And again, I'm just some asshole on YouTube. But like, guys, levels. What are we doing? A perfectly straight line. I don't know. It just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I know the game's fast and you got to make decisions quickly, but someone had a role that was different than just skating with the other two. Ridiculous. I know the vibe is off for this video. I know it. It's a dub. I love a dub. But you asked me to review the game, and this is what the game was. It is what the game was. Yikes. 6:45 in. Bad turnover by the Caps leads to a Blue Mel breakaway. He can't beat Lindgren low blocker, which is, again, you want to see him capitalize on that play, but you're not going to score in every breakaway. Shortly after that, 8:37 left, Liesel tripping in the offensive zone, penalty kill time. You're nursing a 1-goal lead. You have less than 9 minutes left. The puck is behind their net, firmly on the stick of a defenseman. You come screaming in and get him right in the skate with your stick. I just expected a different level of focus from Liesel, and we have not gotten it. We do kill that off, though, to save him a little bit. And then with 1:14 left, Harrison, well-deserved, I think, buries the empty netter, 3-1. And that's a dub. That's a dub. There is another penalty. Rempel takes a swipe at Korpisalo. Korpisalo and Callahan just blow him up immediately. You can't do that. That's a no-no. But yeah, so we go on the power play for the last 30 seconds. I don't think we even attempt to score really with it. But the game notes are very simple. There's really only two game notes. One, Korpisalo made some huge saves. And for portions of it looked great. And other portions, it looked really bad. But he still made the saves. I am worried about our backup position. I genuinely am. I'm worried about our starter position because I don't know what we're going to get from Swayman this year. I am begging for a stellar season. But I'm nervous. The defense was terrible in front of Korpisalo virtually this entire game. I'm not going to put a lot on him. Korpisalo is going to be the backup. He's going to be the number 2 going into the season. That seems pretty clear to me. Swayman's going to get the next game. DiPietro's not going to get another chance. And DiPietro just simply didn't show out enough in his 2 starts. But this was a good game to boost Korpisalo's confidence. I am concerned about the play to get there. There's a lot of rebounds. There was a lot of frantic movement. Some losing the puck in moments. But also, he made some massive saves. Multiple 2-on-0s. Some really good tracking at moments through crowds. There were some really highs and lows there, which you can do worse for a backup goaltender, right? So I am concerned about that position, but I have more things to be concerned about elsewhere. So it's fine. The other and the biggest game note here is the defensemen struggled across the board. But none of the defensemen are really fighting for much. Lohrei is going to start the season in the NHL. Yoki Haru is very, very, very likely to start the season in the NHL. Harris is looking like our 7th defenseman. That seems pretty clear to me. That was pretty clear going into the game, and I just am not worried about any shuffling at that point. I think they played like that. The guys who were hopeful behind them, I mean, Soderstrom had an awful game again. Aspero didn't look good for most of it, and then Callahan struggled. It's just the defense wasn't good. But the forwards are where you're really looking at in this lineup to go, okay, this is your chance to separate. This is your chance to be the guy. I don't think any single forward changed Marco Sturm's mind tonight. And that's not me crushing these guys. The first 30 minutes were terrible. They were awful. And then the next 30 minutes, they turned it on. They made some plays. Poitras had a couple really nice plays that Blumel couldn't capitalize on. There was some good stuff. Not for Liesel, unfortunately. But there was some good stuff from the forwards. The problem is it was inconsistent. And there were way too many board battles lost. That's not the identity this team wants to go with. I don't think anyone of the forward group changed Marco Sturm's mind. I think Poitras still has a chance to make it. Going back, Kostelic I still think is fine. Blumel I think has a chance to make it. Anyone else, I think it's a tough sell. I think it's a tough sell as far as forwards go. And I'm not trying to crush these guys, but they had to have a game where they really showed the coaching staff, like, you have to consider me for this role. They just didn't have it. The good thing about the preseason is it's the preseason. Some of these guys start in the AHL that are waivers exempt, particularly. We might see them in 2 weeks. You know, injuries happen. Guys are going to get called up. Guys get hot during the season. I'm not like overly concerned. Steves, you might lose to waivers, and Beecher, you might lose to waivers if he gets sent down. I think it's more likely he's a 13th, 14th forward. At the end of the day, though, your Minton, your Poitras, you're not going to lose them to waivers. They still have another year on waivers exempt contracts. It's not the end of the world. It's a little bit of a bummer. This team's going to struggle to have some offense, and you want to see a guy really take the next step. You don't always get that every year in the preseason. So I'm not like upset. I'm not trying to put out a message that you should be upset or frustrated or anything like that. It's just not a game where someone changed the mind of the coaching staff. I haven't watched the interviews after the game. Maybe Marco Sturm's sitting there going, I think these guys have given me a lot to think about. That'll be interesting to hear, and I'd love to see how this all shakes out. But I don't know. I didn't like the process. We've talked about it all preseason, process versus box score, and they're all trying to learn a new system. But I just don't think anyone stood out in a way. And if there's people that you think truly stood out, like, I don't mean a lot of comments have been like, I liked what this guy brought. I liked this aspect of this guy's game. If you could, for my sake, in that comment, tell me, I think this guy stood out on a level that's going to make the coaches reconsider because of these things. Or is it simply, I just like this part of his game? Because those are two different statements. So my assumption is when you make those statements that you're thinking like that's being eye-popping for the coaching staff, that they like that and they're going to move forward with that. But I think some of them are also just kind of, hey, I like this though. Great. Me too. I feel fine. I want to see, obviously, this last game on Sunday, just how hard these guys go. It's just kind of hard to tell how hard they're going to go. I genuinely think we're not going to start learning about this team till game one. I think the preseason has been largely indifferent in what we've learned and didn't learn. Because we're nitpicking stuff at this point. Not a bad thing, but these races are close. Go Bees. Go Bees!